to Shaner'S Rant. Different setup. I don't even have a headset. I think I might still have to get a microphone plugged into my computer, but I'm in a different area. I'm trying to fix all the sound issues that I've been having since the beginning, and I'm not used to just talking into thin air with something on my head or talking into a mic. But I did a few tests, talking into just my camera with some videos playing. Sounded alright. Sounded better than the setup I had before with 2 computers and everything bouncing back through speakers and PAs and all that jazz. So this is a very simple setup. So we'll see how it goes once I upload it and see what YouTube does with it. Anyways, we'll see how it goes. So, first story, this broke yesterday morning. Of course, most of you have heard about it by now. 14 Liberal MPs just signed an open letter against Mark Carney's pipeline deal with Alberta. The cowards signed it. CBC has it. And they don't want to be named. If this happened to Pierre... This is Mario for the North that posted this. If this happened to Pierre, CBC would name them, obviously. This would be all over the place, right? Like, they'd be gunning for Pierre like crazy. And this was just done 24 hours after Alberta put the separation out on the October ballot. The Prime Minister can't even hold his own caucus together. I'd love to know who these people are. It'll be leaked. Somebody will leak it. The Liberal Party's response to a province voting on separation is to fight their own Prime Minister. Yeah, good one. Good one, Mario. The country is splitting from the West. And then he says the Liberals are splitting from the leader. And the Prime Minister is in the middle trying to negotiate with both sides while losing both at the same time. He's in a no-win scenario right here because, like, he had to do something with the pipelines. He can't just sit there and not do anything, right? But if you've heard any of my videos, hey, you like my cup here? This is my favorite cup. I got this from Algonquin Park. But if you've watched any of the other videos that I've done, I've gone off my nut on these pipelines. And I'm sorry for all my cursing and swearing. I just lose it on this whole situation because not only do we need a pipeline, we need several pipelines. And we need it from one side of the country all the way across to the other. That'll never happen. But, like, you know, the fact is it's all about this carbon capture, and the carbon tax that'll be on it is unreal. So I don't know who's winning. I really don't. But Carney's in quite the predicament. And what are these 14 people gonna do? Are they gonna leave? Are they gonna cross the floor? They certainly wouldn't go to the PC. So would they cross the floor to? Would they cross the floor to the NDP? It seems really extreme too. I don't know. I don't know what to think. Anyways, first clip of the day is from Scott Sinclair. Carney government uses infrastructure money for votes. There's a shocker. Let's give this a listen. Hopefully I've got the volumes all set up. Let's go.
Prime Minister of Canada Mark Carney this week attended a grand opening of a new graphite mine in Quebec, where the Carney government in the last year since election has committed about $500 million of federal taxpayer money to this project. They want to create jobs, but they also want to have graphite flake, which is a a critical mineral in Canada and is used in EV batteries, and they want to produce EV batteries in Quebec. But the problem is, what they don't tell you is that the purity of the carbon flake, graphite flake coming out of this mine is about 97%. You need 99.5% plus for EV batteries, which means it needs to be purified, which means you need a purification plant. And although they have plans for that, they do not have permits. They do not have environmental sign-off. We're about a decade away from having graphite for EV batteries in Quebec. Meanwhile, we're spending zero in Alberta.
Wow. I don't know what to make of that. I've never heard of this before. I saw this clip and I wanted to include it, but I really don't have any commentary about it. First I'm hearing of it. So all I know is they spent $500 million on this in Quebec, obviously. The whiners. Anything to keep Quebec happy, right? But they don't want to spend money in Alberta. So that's what I get from it. Yeah. I mean, he's agreed to do this pipeline to a point, but we know it's still not going to happen, right? Can you hear me? Do I need to talk louder? Anyways, moving on, moving forward. I'm hoping I have a lot less internet issues, because I'm right beside my freaking router. In the studio, I'm like a mile away from the router, and you know, I'm going on a wireless, so that's why some of the videos just don't work the greatest. So hopefully this solves a few issues. And I gotta dig out my other microphone. I don't know where I put it. I've got a microphone that hooks up to the computer, whatever you call that, condenser microphone, and that should pick me up a lot better, but we'll see how this does. Next up, I'm gonna try and do a lot less swearing, but this guy, my new friend, we're not friends, but I love this guy, Ron Butler. He can do all the swearing for me. And I've got a bunch of videos of him that I'll spread out through the next several podcasts. Or maybe I'll do it all today. We'll see how far we get. But this guy, he's got some good information if he can get past the gruffness, shall we say.
The stats came out. A good buddy of mine runs these stats. Single-family home permits. Permits to build new homes. All across Canada for single-family. Okay? Lowest in 40 fucking years. Okay? Like, lowest permit issuance in 40 fucking years. So I guess we may not make the fucking government's promise of the jillion new homes, okay? Like, yes, okay, why so low? 2 reasons. There's no financing. I mean, the builders are saying, no, the numbers don't pencil. It doesn't make sense to build homes right now. Like, it just doesn't make sense. We can't build a single-family home now. We can't get the financing from the banks to develop 600 homes. We can't, you know, the numbers don't work. I mean, the development costs are too high. The taxes are too high. The cities want too much. There's 300 reports to do. It's all fucked up. And they're not building. They're not building single-family homes. But the lowest in 40 fucking years, because this has been accumulating. Like, it's just been less and less single-family homes built all the fucking time for the last 15 years. Less and less, more and more condos, more and more density. Every city in Canada, every urban planner decided, we don't want sprawl anymore. We don't want these damn single-family homes. It's like, we just don't want them. So we're going to have only condos, only tight density, only straight up in the air. And then, of course, we get smaller and smaller, the fucking shoebox dog crate condos, okay? We got the 385, 485, 500 square foot condos. That's what's getting built. Yeah, it's a dwelling unit, but do we all want it? It's fine, but fuck me. Not everybody wants it. So what's happened is cities have killed choice. No choice. And provinces didn't help by enforcing all kinds of standards about where you can build and where you can't build. In Ontario, we have Greenbelt, and other provinces, we have certain boundary restrictions. Like, fuck me. No more single-family homes in the second biggest country by landmass on fucking Earth, okay? Like, it's senseless. It's senseless. There's so much changes to make. There's so many things you have to do to fix this. But you have to. It doesn't make sense that Canadians can't have any choice in their dwellings or only multimillionaires can buy. That's crazy. Holy
I think I missed the beginning of it.
shit. The stats came out.
Yeah, I missed the beginning. Is holy shit. This guy cracks me up, but he knows what he's talking about. I don't know a first thing about this guy. And I'm back. You know what? Let's do a double shot of Ron. This guy kills me. This next video is his take on immigration. And leave some comments if you agree with him or not. You might be afraid to leave a comment about this. Let's see what he's got to say. I listened to this yesterday and I can't remember it. I got an Etch-a-Sketch brain. I wake up the next morning and I forget what the hell happened the day before for the most part. So it's all new to me all over again.
Okay, like what the fuck do you think? Will immigration come roaring back? Like seriously, immigration is non-existent right now. There's actually less people in Canada now than there was last year. I know. People love to argue with that shit, but stop arguing. It's statistically factual. There's a million ways to check it. It's a fact, okay? Why do you think starting rents have been falling for 19 straight months in BC and Ontario? Like, come on, like, it just is. Here's the deal, though. Will the feds have to restart it? Yeah, like, I'm hearing the stories. I'm hearing the whispers. Like, obviously, there's a bunch of people who want to see it come back. There's every single asshole small business owner. Like, there's some great small business owners, too. Don't get me wrong. But all these guys in restaurants and cleaning companies and all these things, give us the temp workers back. We need those temp workers. Yes, so you can fuck them over on wages and continue to depress young people's wages and average people's wages in Canada. Yes, I know why you want it. Nobody will work, Ron. Fuck off. You pay them enough, people will show up and work. So, why is this whisper increase immigration? Because the government's whispering it a bit too. And lots of big companies are whispering it just for the fact of we need growth to keep us growing. Big companies need growth to keep them growing. Government needs growth of people to keep taxes flowing. Yeah, that's what it's all about. So what will it look like? What will the return of immigration look like? Well, they've already started to talk about it. They already published ideas about restarting permanent resident program at about 400,000. Remember, we brought in like 1 million people, 1.2 million people in like 2023. But yeah, so they're starting to talk about it again. And you're going to hear that talk increase because every single condo developer in Toronto and Vancouver wants immigration. Yeah, they want immigration. They want the upward pressure on rents. They want all those things, okay? Yeah, there's going to be pressure. Should it be? Should we have immigration? Here's the thing. Immigration is one of the greatest things Canada ever did. I don't want all you racists to just block you when you put the comments on. It's one of the greatest things about this country. On a controlled, intelligent basis, we had the best system in the world for decades. The point system that brought in great people who helped our country grow and were terrific for the country. Liberals fucked it up. Let's see what's going to happen again. Okay,
I don't disagree with the man. He makes a good point. This country was based based on immigrants. So, like, I don't have a problem with immigrants. I mean, there's a right way and a wrong way of coming into the country, right? So, I don't know. What do you think? Tell me. What do you think? I'm not exactly an immigration expert, and, well, hell, I'm not an expert on anything. I'm just a guy sitting here on his computer pretending like I know shit. And I don't. I'm learning. Anyway, sorry that clip was choppy. There is a heck of a storm going through today, and there's not much I can do about it. So, it is what it is. Next up is a video of Parliament here. Shannon Stubbs, MP Shannon Stubbs. I've never seen or heard of her before in my life, but what a spitfire. Oh my goodness. She reamed them a new one. Wow. I would not want to be on her bad side. Let's give her a listen. This is, what was this about? This was about the Sovereign Debt Fund and a few other things, I believe. I don't know, it was yesterday. But all I remember was, man, oh man, she reamed the Liberals out.
So what wealth is actually going into this so-called wealth fund? Well, it seems like the Prime Minister had an idea. You could say it's the Liberal old reliable. They'll, of course, take Canadians' money, just like they always do, because when in doubt, they'll just tax Canadians out of their homes, out of their businesses, and in the very end, all the way out of Canada. He said that if you had a bit of extra money, then you could give it to him. Just a few bucks here or there because he needs more of your money because he thinks he hasn't taken enough of it. For the Liberals, it's always spend first, tax everyone, and everything later. Now, why does he want your money? What's the point of this sovereign debt fund in the first place? Well, it seems to be so the Prime Minister will have the power to bankroll hand-picked projects while claiming it's independent. He'll be able to pick winners of a few and make losers of the rest in Canada's economy. He'll make sure once and for all that the lucky few who toe Liberal talking points and parrot his globalist European neo-Marxist agenda get to rake it in. So they can hire the top consultants, so they can line their pockets, and so they can add just a few more zeros to their big fat bonuses. Oh, and the rest? Well, they get shut out. They get drowned in anti-development laws, regs, and taxes. They get to go wait at the back of the line while the Prime Minister holds the door open for his big banker elite buddies, his cronies, all the guys who helped get him to where he is today. And like Dan Kelly, president of the Canadian Federation of Independent Business, said, every other unwashed business owner is stuck in the old unworkable system. So,
damn. Did she even take a breath in all that? Wow. Man, can you imagine that dressing you down? Man, sorry, man. I'll do the dishes, honey. Sorry. Shit. Whoa. Moving on, and speaking of women that can give you a proper dress down, Miss Jasmine Lane. Oh, yeah. She'll make you rethink your entire life if you piss her off. Anyways, here's a quick clip from her show. I totally recommend her show. I say this every time I post something from her. She's inspired me to do this. She's one of the reasons that inspirations for me doing a daily devotional as well. And I hope she doesn't mind me using some of her clips. If I can somehow move a few people towards her, she's the pro. I'm a hack at this. We all know that. But she's the real pro. She's the real deal. And, well, let's give her a listen.
Because I think I've come to the conclusion that the number one reason why it is that Liberals keep getting elected is because Canadians do not actually know what sovereignty or freedom means. Like, what does freedom mean to you? I'd love to know in the comments down below. But most people, if you ask that question, their response will say, oh, well, you know, I have a house and I can drive to and from work on my own. Just these very surface level things of what freedom is. But freedom is so much more than that. You know, it's the autonomy to create the life that you deserve, that you work hard for. It is the freedom to not have to rely on the government for $10 a day childcare, for a national school food program, and to not cheer on a government for spending so much of your money that, due to inflation and the bottom cost always being passed on to the consumer, that you now rely on those programs. And so, yeah, it's a great program because you need it. But nobody ever looks past, why do I need it? Why do I work so hard? Why do I have a full-time job and I still need that? Why am I cheering them on for giving that to me when the reason why I am the way that I am and I'm in the situation I am is actually because of them?
More Canadians are searching for work with Canada's unemployment rate.
Oops. Well, she's not wrong. They create the problem, and then so they can create the cure.
Rising to a 6-month high in April. It was actually 2 points higher than the month before. The unemployment rate increased the most amongst youth aged 15 to 24 and men aged 25 to 54. And the economy also lost a net 17,700 jobs.
Because I think I've come to the conclusion that the number one reason why it is that Liberals keep getting elected is because Canadians do not actually know what sovereignty or freedom means.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. The video started all over again. And we're back. Last clip for this episode. This is a video of Ronald Reagan way back in the day. But it really fits for today's climate in Canada with how the Liberals are conducting themselves the last 10, 12 years, I guess. Let's give it a listen. Come on, Ronald. I love his hair. That's groovy hair.
We don't have inflation because the people are living too well. We have inflation because the government is living too well. And the last statement, just a few days ago, was a speech to the effect that we have inflation because government revenues have not kept pace with government spending. I see my time is running out here. I'll have to get this down very fast. Yes, you can lick inflation by increasing productivity and by decreasing the cost of government to the place that we have balanced budgets and are no longer grinding out printing press money, flooding the market with it because the government is spending more than it takes in. And my economic plan calls for that. The president's economic plan calls for increasing the taxes to the point that we finally take so much money away from the people that we can balance the budget in that way. But we will have a very poor nation and a very unsound economy if we follow that path. We don't have
Truer words have never been spoken. How's it looking, Canada? Canada? How's it looking out there, folks? I don't think things are more affordable. Look, I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on money, finances, and all that jazz. I just know that the country can't keep borrowing money and taxing the hell out of all of us. The two just don't add up. You know, one day the credit card just can't take it anymore. And I admit, I've gone bankrupt. Yeah. I can admit it. I've gone bankrupt. I sucked. But I also had a lot of extenuating circumstances. I went through a divorce, and it was too much. I lost a house and everything, cars, and repossessed. You name it. It was just an awful, awful mess. But, you know, I also overextended myself. I couldn't care for everything. I couldn't take care of everything. So in the end, it was my fault. Our fault. My exes. I could get into the whole thing. That'd be episodes of how all that went down. But, you know, when you go through bankruptcy, you kind of learn the hard way on how credit works and overspending, and like when you max out everything to the tits, and there's no room for anything else, and then you go bottoms up. That's what's happening to the country. Just is. I feel bad for the next, not just this generation of young adults, but for the next ones. Holy crap. How are they supposed to ever afford anything? $10 for bacon? I mean, like, I went uptown the other day, and it was like, was it $8? Some, like, almost $8 a pound for asparagus? Isn't that in season right now? Like, shouldn't that be cheap? I don't know. I'm scratching my head on it all. Anyways, moving on. It's time for the end of the show. It's the funnies with the ropers. And unfortunately, I can't do it the way that I normally do, where I hide all the sound effects, because I was using 2 different computers in the studio. So now you're going to see how the magic is done. You're going to see how the sausage is made, unfortunately, until I figure that out. But it's not that big of a deal. So here we go. They're still looking upstairs. They're talking to the big guy upstairs. First joke. Let's see here. Let's get this out of the way. Is this going to be a funny one? Alright. See, this is how I give it all away now. You can see how it's all done. Normally you wouldn't see all this. Alright. Whenever I get insecure around pretty women, I reach into my pocket and grab my tiny rock. It makes me feel a little bolder. Yeah, I got a tiny rock. Rock. I said rock. Someone broke into the house last night and stole a dozen eggs. They also left a pan of boiling water on the stove. Police believe it was poachers. Oh, that one's bad. Oh, that should be a boo, too. That's a good and a bad one. Do I have another one? Okay, I gotta blow this one up. Okay, this is the last one. I'm not sure how this one's gonna go. Did you know that bees are actually allergic to pollen? They even break out in hives. Actually, oh, that was one joke. Okay, this is a bunch of jokes clumped together. So, accidentally rubbed kitchen. I screwed that up too. I can't read worth of shit. I accidentally rubbed ketchup in my eyes. Now I have hindsight. Oh, this one sucks. We're going to end the show on this one too? Alright. If sweet dreams are made of cheese, who am I to disagree? Okay. We better end the show. Yeah, they're looking like, what are we doing with this guy? Anyways, thank you for putting up with me. Hope you enjoyed the clips today. I didn't go off my nut too much today. Tried to ease up on the commentary. Tried to keep it a shorter episode today. hit like, subscribe, tell a friend, and leave some comments. Still no comments. I don't know if people are afraid or they just couldn't be bothered. Whatever. Say hi, at least. Say, good luck, Shane. Good luck on being a millionaire at this shit. Anyways, you have been a dynamite audience, and you deserve to give yourselves a round of applause. Anyways, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other out there. Are you okay? Seriously. Hey, my friends out there. If you're not okay, text me, call me. Family, anybody. If you're not okay, let me know. Anyways, like I said, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. God bless and all that jazz. Hope to see y'all soon.